Hello viewers, this is Paladin of Odin, and this is some more Magic the Gathering Online. This is another episode of the Standard Commentary Series, and it looks like we've got Bant Aggro versus possibly Walk Ramp. Ollie is Lieutenant. Bant currently has a Lamholt Butcher and a Double Watch, so he's attacking in for 7 here. No response from him because he was completely tapped out, so he's down to 9. And he's pretty much going to have to pull out a bomb here. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure that that's game. Traverse the Ulvenwald to get him a land. 4 mana. Displacement Wave. Nice. I haven't seen this card very much, but, you know, in that situation, 4 mana bouncing all mana costs of 2 or less saved him. That would have been, you know, that was 7 last time, 8 with the Thalia's Lieutenant. You know, it's not inconceivable that he could have gotten 1 more power and put an end to this game right then and there. But a well-timed displacement wave saves him. Yeah, Throbbing Inspector would have made Thalia's Lieutenant a 2-2. The only problem that I can see at the moment, though, is the typical problem that, you know, blue decks without white or red or black to back them up is they don't have permanent removal. You know, this saved him for that turn, which is, you know, excellent. Gives him a chance to breathe. But he just replayed pretty much everything that he just bounced. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana Drowner of Hope. Now, 5/5 by itself is a really good blocker against this, and then on top of that, if any of these creatures get a little too scary, he can sacrifice the Scion tokens and tap them down. But at the same time, the 5/5 is pretty much all that Bant has to go through to get at his face. So Declaration in Stone will get rid of it. Stasis Snare. Reflector Mage. I keep forgetting about Reflector Mage, which would be a really good play here. He could bounce the Drowner of Hope. You know, granted, he'd be able to replay it again and get more Scion tokens, and you know, but then he would have been able to follow it up with the Thalia's Lieutenant, since Reflector Mage is a human, and get extra +1/+1 counters out of the deal. But he sacrifices the Clue token, looking for an answer, and there's the Reflector Mage. Targeting the Drowner of Hope, and he doesn't sack any of the Scion tokens. He chooses to not respond. But then again, you know, he can chump block these creatures with the Scion tokens anyway. But it's only 3 damage. Though when you're at 9, that takes you down to 6, and that's really precarious position. All he needs is 1 more land here for Shrine to be active. Okay, so he's got 5, 6, 7, 8 mana available for a colorless spell. Nissa's Pilgrimage, he does have Spell Mastery, so he'll get 3 lands out of it. The only problem that I foresee here is the fact that he can't play the Drowner of Hope. I mean, if he has another Displacement Wave, that will, you know, set him back a little bit. He'll still have the Reflector Mage in play, but... Oh, I forgot. Scion tokens sacrifice for... Okay, so Surge cost Crush of Tentacles. All non-land permanents to their owner's hand, and the ramp deck gets an 8/8 Octopus out of the deal. So again, another bounce spell saves him for a little bit more, only this one gives him a little bit more breathing room because it gives him an 8/8. But as we've seen, it's not hard for Bant to get rid of a big scary blocking creature. And, you know, Reflector Mage is perfect for this because bouncing creature tokens effectively exiles them. Ooh, Tireless Tracker in foil. Okay, land. Reflector Mage, Throbbing Inspector. Yep. Okay. So goodbye to the 8/8. That is the big problem with the Crush of Tentacles is I haven't ever seen anybody get to use the Octopus token for anything, a block or an attack. It's always, aha! I bounce all of your things and get my 8/8, and then on the next turn, it's gone already. So Oath of Jace from blue green discards 2 forests. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana available to him. He does have the Drowner of Hope in his hand, so he can play that here. Which, again, will buy him a turn, provided that Bant doesn't have an answer. And there's the Drowner of Hope. But, like I was saying, the lack of permanent removal is really limiting this deck. Because, as you've seen, aha, I bounce all of your stuff. He plays it again. Haha, I bounce all of your stuff again. And it gets played again. Now, it is buying him time so that he can possibly throw down something like a Part the Water Veil with Awaken and maybe buy himself some more breathing room or possibly even get him lethal if, he can chain Part the Water Veils. So a land gets him another clue token. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. So I'm guessing that he can play everything in his hand. Ooh, Eldrazi Displacer. Well, he can only activate it once because he only has one colorless mana producer, but one is enough to blink the Reflector Mage. And to be honest, I would wait until going into combat to do it. That way, if you get him to as a declared attacker, ooh, nope, he's going for it right now. And again, no response. But at the same time, these are small fry creatures, a 3/2 and a 1/2. If he wants to, he can double block the Tireless Tracker with the Scion tokens at the moment and kill it. Oh, Thalia's Lieutenant. That buffs pretty much his entire team. So Tireless Tracker is now unkillable from combat damage, and so is Throbbing Inspector. So double chump block here, keeps himself alive, and being at 6, it's not going to take but one turn for Bant to kill him here. But the ramp deck has 7 cards in hand, so if he doesn't have an answer, he wasn't going to have an answer. And Displacement Wave for 3. Alright, buy himself another turn. Only this time, he has 5 mana left over that he could play with. Nissa's Pilgrimage. So now he's up to 12 possible mana for a colorless spell or 11 for a normal spell. So he has more than enough mana for a Part the Water Veil with Awaken. The only problem is that at the moment he still can't guarantee an attack with the token or no, not the token, the awakened land that he would play. And I hate to say it a third time, but you bounced all of Bant Aggro's creatures, and now he's just playing them again. And at this stage, it's just going to come down to, one turn where the ramp deck doesn't have an answer. And Bant's going to eat him. So, Throbbing Inspector, 4/3 Tireless Tracker, Lambhold Pacifist. He's got an Evolving Wilds live, so he can sacrifice, get a land, and another clue token. Another Shrine of the Forsaken Gods. So, Drowner of Hope. So he's got another answer. Keep himself alive here. And as we've seen, a 5/5 is a decent blocker. He's never gotten to use it like that, but a second Drowner of Hope. Okay. So 2 5/5s and 4 1/1s with the option of being able to tap things down. Oath of Jace afterwards. Draw 3 and discard 2. And discards an Explosive Vegetation and an Oath of Jace. I have to say, with all the mana that Ramp has available to him, I was thinking, if Bant can fire off a Declaration in Stone and get rid of the Drowner of Hopes, then that'll get rid of the big scary guys, and most likely he'll use the Scion tokens to either tap down the creatures or hold them off to use his chump blockers. But that would also be giving him 2 clue tokens, which he can, without a doubt, sacrifice and still have the mana to cast whatever he draws. And there's a Reflector Mage. That'll get rid of one of the Drowners. The good news for Ramp is that, he only needs one to use its tap down ability, if he wants to do that. And Eldrazi Displacer, and he has the mana to be able to bounce the Reflector Mage. Or blink the Reflector Mage, sorry. So that'll get rid of the other Drowner of Hope. And no response because, there's no real point. He could have sacrificed all 3 of these to tap all 3 of these down when, he can just chump block with all 3 of them and effectively do the same thing. But now Ramp has 2 dead cards in his hand. He cannot play his Drowner of Hopes. So he's got 4 cards available to him that one of them has to be an answer to this board. And another Displacement Wave, followed by Oath of Jace. And another Oath of Jace. He discarded Yavimaya Coast and Clash of Wills to the last one. And a Yavimaya Coast and an island to this one. Throbbing Inspector. A second Throbbing Inspector. And something that I was noticing is the fact that comparatively on time clocks, the Ramp deck is 5 minutes better off than the Bant deck. And, in case you didn't notice, the reason why is because, the Ramp deck plays 1 or 2 spells, typically one of them bouncing all of Bant's stuff. So then the next turn he has to spend replaying all of the things that he lost, burning more time off of his clock. So potentially it is a win condition. It's not a very nice win condition. It kind of makes you look like an asshole. But, it's a potential win condition. But at this rate, he's already down to 24 cards in his library. He was 16 cards deeper than Bant, meaning that, if he keeps this up, he's going to deck himself out. And Ulamog, I have to say, I'm surprised we didn't see him a lot sooner, with all the mana and all the card draw. So, getting rid of the Yavimaya Coast and the Tireless Tracker, responding with the Evolving Wilds to get another clue token before it's gone. So, after all of this, now Ramp has Ulamog in play, 7 cards in hand. He does have 3 mana available, and we know that he is playing counter spells. So Bant fires off a clue token to draw a card and hopefully find a way to win this game. And Reflector Mage to get rid of Ulamog. Third Throbbing Inspector. I am Hope Pacifist. And I have to say, I am very surprised that we haven't seen a single instance of Declaration in Stone from Bant Aggro yet. Thalia's Lieutenant. And Spatial Contortion to kill off a Throbbing Inspector. I guess it could attack this turn. So 2 damage going in, and Ramp can't stop it, so he's down to 4. Traverse the Ulvenwald. Grabbing a Shrine of the Forsaken Gods. To play Crush of Tentacles again for a surge cost. Popping a clue token. I was really hoping that Bant would have had Negate in his hand, like that one copy that they run main deck, just to try and end this game. World Breaker. Since this game is just grinding on for so long, I'm going to pause here and come back with the results screen because otherwise this video will be a half an hour long. Alright folks, long story short, 3 surge castings of Crush of Tentacles, 3 castings of Displacement Wave, 3 castings of Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger, and the Walk Ramp deck finally won the game. Oh, wow. And look at the time clock on Bant Aggro. He only had 3 minutes and 21 seconds left on his clock. So, end the video as fast as I can. That was Walk Ramp versus Bant Aggro. And if you liked what you saw, hit that like and subscribe button for me. And I'll see you